Hi there, Bryn. Okay, we're going to make this a relatively short video because you're going to be able to hear one of my teenage sons screaming in the background shortly as they're playing one of their games. So here's your orthogonal drawing. Your beautiful orthogonal drawing. Sorry about those noises. So what I've done is I've actually just hidden your grid so I can sort of perhaps communicate a little bit better. And the other thing I've done is I've basically grabbed everything like this and then gone to object and I've locked it down. I went to lock and then across to selection and now it's all locked. Just means I can sort of click on things or find the points, the anchor points, but nothing moves and it makes it so much easier to actually do dimensioning. First of all, I've actually drawn up one of these little fellas, so I'm just going to zoom in. That's your third angle orthogonal drawing symbol. Really, really easy to draw. This is the proportions that you're looking for. So basically it's one circle, another circle, and the most important thing is that, see how you've got a long, a short, and a long. Actually, that's not very well lined up there. And then you've got a long, a short, and a long. The long, short is a center line. We use it for the center of circles, showing the center of objects. And you can see that it continues here. So long, short, long, short, long. Notice also that the height of this is the same as this first circle, and that the height of this is the same as the large circle. And these are your proportions. So that was pretty easy to create. I'm just going to zoom out again, and I've just put it out of the way for the moment. All right, so dimensioning. This is the height of your object. So you could place some heights. You've got to have some height dimensions. You could put some here. You could also put it up against here. You could put it here, and you could put it here. So you've got 4 places. It's the same for the length. So you could put length here, length here, length here, and length there. And last but not least, you've got depth here, 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 and here. So lots of options. Or potential options of where you can actually place dimension lines. Now, a couple of rules. One, you don't want to overcomplicate your drawing. Don't repeat your dimensions, and put your dimensions as close to the part that you're dimensioning as possible. So what I mean by that, if you want to dimension this, showing that, well, you're not going to put it down here. You're either going to put a dimension here, or why not put it here? Because these lines here are quite easy to dimension. Okay, so see the width of this little part here? See that? Don't put it against here, put it against here. So it's making those sort of decisions. I find that what I do is I go head on into dimensioning an object, then I step back and go, okay, I've put something here, but would it be better over here? I also double check that I haven't doubled up on my dimensions. Last but not least, when you finish your dimensioning, I would make your dimension lines a lighter pen weight, a lighter line weight than your object lines, just to help them stand out a bit. All right, let's get started. How do you actually do this? First of all, I'm going to do is zoom in, and I'm going to actually put some dimensions against here as a starting point. So Bryn, just like in architecture, the first dimension line needs to be 1 centimetre away from the object. Projection lines never touch the object, leave a 1 millimetre gap, and then they extend 2 millimetres over. So first of all, let's get ourselves a measuring tool. This is my measuring tool. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to go over here to this, and I want to make this 10 millimetres or 1 centimetre. Okay, so we'll just double check. That's what that is, 10 millimetres. This is my little measuring stick, so I'm going to do this. First thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw myself a nice straight line, and I'm going to place this here. All right, I'll put my measuring stick out of the way for the moment. Next thing I want to do is zoom in a bit more so you can see what I'm actually doing. This here is my projection line. Remember, it doesn't touch the object, about 1 millimetre, and it should hang over about 2, like so. This now needs to come to here. And I can actually be lazy if I wanted to and just copy and paste this. And I'm going to now place this one here. Beautiful. And then this comes to here. Voila. All right, as I said before, let's make your projection lines and your dimension lines a little bit lighter weight than your object lines. And that's very much the case here, because it does look better once it's all printed out. Because remember, this is the most important information. Now, thanks to you leaving in these guidelines, you're making my life a lot easier, because now what I'm going to do is bring this to here, okay, select it, and I want arrowheads. I really like number 9. It's just nice and neat. So arrowhead 9, and there's our first one. Next thing we want to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I really should have a nice little dash, just something like that. Okay. And now I'm going to copy and paste this arrowhead, put this one here, line it up, beautiful. And then this is going to go to here. Then I can grab my little dash and come on, behave yourself. Put that there. Is that lining up? Yep. Zoom in a bit more so I can do a better job of it. It's going to touch to there. Excellent. And then last but not least, I'm going to copy and paste that one more time. And this time now it's going to fit in. Okay, you can just sort of line them up. Oops, zoom in a bit. Sometimes you just got to zoom in. Beautiful. And then this extends too far. So I'm going to bring that to there. Let's zoom out and have a look. There you go, Bryn. Easy peasy. When you're actually copying and pasting these, just watch out because sometimes your line thickness changes because of you're going longer, so the lines tend to try and stay in proportion. If that happens, just select, 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 so as in one selection, then you go here and make them all the same. All right, that's the first one done. What we can now do also, which looks pretty good, is we can actually put another one here like this. We can copy and paste, and this one here can go here. We can zoom in a little bit. We can actually extend this so it goes just beyond. We can bring this down here like this. And now I want to bring this and just watch and see if this arrowhead gets a bit fatter. Can you see that line's getting fatter as well as the arrowhead? This is what I was talking about before. I'll show you how to fix it. And now this, whoops, come on you can just go and extend a little bit beyond. And now I'm going to get rid of my stick. Now first of all I'm going to do, select that, see it's on 0.24 and I like that. So I'm also going to select this and go 0.24 and it matches. These lines here, let's change that as well, 0.24 and select 0.24. And now let's zoom out. So that's looking really good. Now I don't need one of these dimensions. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, so pretty much now, because I can add these two together and subtract it from that and I can get that. So that's another thing you can do, is actually leave out a dimension in this case because the work looks less busy, easier for people to actually read the drawing as well. So I hope I've helped you here. So what I'm going to do to finish up is, don't forget your labels, which I'll come back to. So to finish up, you've got a little measuring tool. That's a little trick that I use. You've now got to put some dimensions. Like it'd be great to show this, okay, and perhaps to show the distance between this, this, and this. Don't put it here, and I wouldn't put it there. I'd put them against this here. So pop a couple of dimensions here. Don't worry about a total. Why? Because you've already got it here. Then you need to think about, you can actually put some dimensions out here if you wanted to, or since you're dimensioning here, you might like to come through the drawing here like this. So in other words, put some along here, and then we wind up with some here. So it's like you're weaving the dimensions through. That can look really good. Also, the other thing is you could go here, come around down here, underneath, and here. But I think you'll find putting dimensions under here, all you've really got to show is from here to here to here. And let's face it, you can show that on here. Then when you finish dimensioning, and let's just say you only have one line of dimensions here, you then measure 1 centimetre or 10 millimetres, and that's where your label goes. Okay, so I'll say that again. Your label always goes 1 centimetre or 10 millimetres below the last dimension line. If you have no dimensions, then the label will go 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter from the edge of the object. Your labels have to be uppercase centered, so you'll have one about here, then one directly here, and one directly here. And when you've done all that, you then can bring this little fella in a little bit closer and then sing out, and I'll show you how to do a title block. All right, hope this gets you going.